But I think Robert Jobson's here, by the way.
Yeah.
We nearly finished the show, but don't worry. Robert, very good morning to you, sir.
I'm just having my technical difficulties now, but there we are.
Hello, Robert. Are you there?
I am, Mike, but I'm trying to get you on the screen first.
There he is.
It's
Can you
there.
hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, there you go.
What an attractive sight
Yeah,
that is.
I didn't want to do it on the screen because I'm not. Anyway, let's just do a voice if we can.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, not to worry. Tell us, a piece of the paper today about Andrew apparently charging his massages to the taxpayer, for one. And I asked this question earlier of Mike Neville, who you all know from the days at the Sun, the former police detective. The searching of Andrew's premises continues, I think. What do you think? Where do you think this is all going? How long do you think it's all going to take?
Yeah, I reckon it'll take many months. And I think that they'll probably, I mean, it's a very difficult case. It's
not hearing him.
Misconduct
I'm hearing.
Are you hearing him?
Misconduct in a public office is very difficult to prove. They're going to prove all sorts of steps along the way. They've got to prove, and so they're going to have to take an awful long time to get this together, I think. And I think it'll probably take many months.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and in terms of what they're looking for, this is one part of an investigation of one particular police force, i.e. the Norfolk police force up in Sandringham, and then also the Berkshire lot as well. What about all the other investigations that are going on? Where are they?
Well, they haven't really developed. I mean, they're supposed to be looking into sex trafficking and the place at Essex Police for Stansted Airport with Epstein's jet landing, the 90 different visits that are supposed to have happened, and all this sort of thing. So they're a long way off yet. I mean, I think this will die down for a while in terms of the royal side, whilst the political side with Madison, blows up.
Right. In terms of the state of the royal visit to America, I presume that's going to go ahead now with the King, right?
Yeah, they're too far down the line. I mean, they haven't actually announced it yet officially, but it was broken, I think, in the Sun quite a while ago, and so the whole thing is, it's all in stage. I think it's going to be the last week of April, but I mean, it's just going to turn into it's supposed to be about soft power diplomacy. It's supposed to be about the relationship between Britain and all that. When you've got this hanging over their head with Congress wanting to speak to the King's brother whilst he's been feted at the White House, it's not a good look.
No, so do you think they should try and get out of it then?
Don't think they can. I think they're too far down the line. I don't think the King would particularly want to do it, but I think they're too far down the line, and it's going to happen, yeah.
And because the American press are not likely to be holding back, are they? They'll take every opportunity, because you know as well as I do, the Americans don't have that kind of, slight deference to the royal family. I remember covering a visit of Charles's to Pittsburgh, and they were just shouting "Chuck" at him. Chuck, tell us about whatever it is, It's not going to be good for him.
I think it'd be even more than that. I think there'll be the victims as well. There's going to be organisation. We know that we know there's a good organisation behind them. I think there's going to be people not only shouting, but also you're going to get political statements to the media from the congressmen that are demanding action. And were pretty blunt last week, a couple of weeks ago, actually, about the King and the Queen not answering questions. So no, there's no way that it's going to be completely hijacked. And I'm really not seeing what benefit it's going to bring to the United Kingdom, which is what it's supposed to be about.
Right.
Do you think that the flames are at all beginning to attack Charles's feet over this issue at all? And how do you see that playing out, Robert?
Well, Kevin, I think we've seen is a few of the old establishment have been wheeled out, haven't they? The likes of Charles Moore and Jonathan Dimbleby talking, the technical side of the monarchy, how it's really strengthening the monarchy, this. I mean, what a load of baloney. I mean, the reality is people, particularly under 25, have pretty much think it's appalling that there has been no developments over the sex trafficking thing. They don't really understand the misconduct in a public office. They all think it's all a bit ridiculous. But to me, I mean, I think that what's going on now is that the King is going to come back to the King, because even though the Queen was in position when his appointment was made to the trade envoy, and we're getting very big briefings now from the palace that really, Charles was overruled. He didn't want Andrew as an envoy. He made it very clear that wasn't the case, and they seem to be quite happy to in a way tarnishing the late Queen's legacy. I mean, she was on the throne 70 years. Charles has been on the throne less than 4, and we've got probably the biggest scandal that's ever hit the monarchy. So I know that, and also there's obviously briefing that William, he was trying to distance himself from it and was telling them that that more should be done. And I think that was the case at the time. I remember having a story that William, refused to go to the Garter ceremony. It all seems a bit silly now, but if Andrew was there, the Knights of the Realm parading down from Windsor Castle to the Gothic church there, in the confines of Windsor Castle, and he refused to go. William eventually, the Queen did blink, and then allowed Andrew. Andrew, who was in the printed programme, wasn't allowed to take part because William wouldn't have been on it. So that I think that there was things being done, but not enough. That's the point, isn't it? If you really want to change things, you can. When the flag wasn't flying at half mast during after Diana's death, there was enough outcry in the papers. Show us you care, get it done. They got it done. So I think that things will have to be done more quickly.
Yeah, absolutely right. Robert, good to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed
Thanks
for joining
much,
us. Robert Jobson, best-selling Sunday Times Royal Author, of course. Well, that's a wrap, I think, ladies and gentlemen. 9:35, slightly over. Kelvin Mackenzie, thank you very much indeed.
That's
Good
all right,
to see
very
you.
enjoyable.
Lots and lots to think about through the course of the day. Look out later on for my plank of the day, which is going to be, believe it or not, the Green Party for what they did up in Denton, Gorton and Denton. And also my rant of the day as well will be out there, my Mike's Meltdown. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Keep the faith. Try not to lose it. Try not to worry about anything. And we'll try and keep you as amused as we possibly can when we're back tomorrow morning from 7 a.m. And remember, no matter how much of it there is out there, do not be a plank.
Remember, despite all of the others out there, it's always the others. Don't be a plank.
Coming up now, though, let's get some news with Edward Hughes.
Here's the news with me, Edward Hughes. The biggest story dominating UK front pages is the arrest of Lord Peter Mandelson, the former Labour minister and ambassador to the US. He was detained on suspicion of misconduct in public office over allegations he shared sensitive government information with Jeffrey Epstein years ago. Police later released him on bail. But the scandal has shocked Westminster, with newspapers describing dramatic scenes of his arrest. In royal-related fallout, the government is considering steps to remove Prince Andrew, now Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, from the line of succession amid renewed Epstein-linked scrutiny. Australia and New Zealand have signalled support for any such move, though it would require parliamentary and Commonwealth approval. On the international front, marking 4 years since Russia's invasion, Prime Minister Keir Starmer announced a new package of military, humanitarian and reconstruction aid for Ukraine, as he leads ally discussions and the Foreign Secretary attends commemorations in Kyiv. Elsewhere, the government unveiled a record £2.785 billion funding deal for courts and tribunals to tackle backlogs and speed up justice for victims. Other reports highlight slow progress on gender equality in top firms and concerns over NHS handling of rare genetic conditions. That's the key UK news this Tuesday. Stay tuned for developments. Remember to like and subscribe. Laters, Tigers.
Edward Hughes there with the news. Thank you very much indeed.